Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Sunday setup. Today is the 8th of December, 2019. First and foremost, if you haven't already, be sure to check out our website. That's litcapital.co.uk, Learn, Interact, Trade. Be sure to register for free so that you can get access to our Education Academy. Head over to there. And if you are a beginner, if you've really been trying to figure out how to trade but don't yet have all of the pieces of the puzzle put together, be sure to access the page of Education Academy and go through our beginner's guide. We've got a tutorial to help you get started, and more importantly, if you're already started and you would like to take your trading to the next level, then be sure to check out our amazing services we have available, our mentoring program, so that we can really give you the tools necessary for you to become a self-sufficient, profitable trader. Now, we're going to get into this one today by having a look at the economic calendar. Excuse me. We've got a big week ahead. First and foremost, on Monday, we have Governor Lowe. Now, this governor is actually a new person who stepped in from the previous president of the Bank of Australia. So this, just like last month when we saw the new president of the European Central Bank, this could create some volatility. So we'll see what pans out. But moving down really into the week really starts from Wednesday when we start to see a lot more information. We've got FOMC along with the interest rate decision, which will be released on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we've also got the Euro interest rate to be released along with the parliamentary election. So a lot of volatility we can potentially see around the Euro, Pound, and US dollar. Okay, so there's not really much happening for the rest of the week. But part of being a trader is to always check the economical calendar the week ahead so you know what you should be looking for. And sorry, I almost forgot, we also have a Swiss interest rate, which will most likely be the same regardless. So yeah, let's have a look at the charts. Straight into oil. We had a look at oil last week, and we told you, there's a lot of bullish actions happening. Shout outs to anyone who caught the oil trade. I say shout outs to anyone who caught the trade. We didn't send this out as a signal. But we mentioned this on a few of our mentoring sessions, and this trade, I know if you have been able to catch this, it's been a 400 pip trade. I've had 3 students hit me up. I personally didn't take this trade, otherwise I would have put it out on the channel. But I personally was contacted by 4 of our students who took the trade from the bottom and nicely have been able to catch over 400 pips and still have the trade open on a risk-free. What we are looking for is the sell. Okay, we do have a imbalance up above here in this blue highlighted zone, and the institutional candle we're playing off is within this yellow zone. But without going into too much detail, we are looking for price to still climb a bit higher. Okay, work 50% off of this black candle before we look at shorting this pair back down to areas of liquidity. Okay, so we're really going to see what happens on Monday. I would like to really see the push. Even when the market opens tonight, I would like to see the push, potentially push higher to the open of our trade, around $60, before we look at shorting this and riding this one back down. Moving on, we're looking at gold. Now, again, gold has really been a suspicious trade. I say suspicious because a few weeks ago, it painted a complete different picture to what it's painting now. And with that being said, I'm actually looking for gold to come down lower to fill this imbalance before it does look to potentially maybe push back upwards. I'm not disputing the fact that I'm not disputing the fact that gold is bullish, okay? But in order for gold to really move to the heights it needs to move to, it needs to come back, close off positions, mitigate out of areas before price really kicks off. And for that reason, I'm identifying target areas which are below. Okay, 1420 would be an area that I would like to see price come back to. Price may come back to 1430. Okay, I'm just giving you my prediction. I've got a Fibonacci scale out here, and really, I would like price to fall beneath, right back into 1371 for price to really be discounted, for me to really, open heavy trades on going long. But until that happens, until we really see a bearish formation come out here, I'm not really going to look at going long on this pair. I would really like to short this, and I'm going to have a look and see what happens on Monday. Monday's not usually a day we look to trade, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what the market holds for us. Of course, we've got interest rates released this week, especially with the US dollar. It's been so weak throughout the past week that if the interest rate is good, we could see, of course, gold come down even lower. If the interest rate is poor, if the FOMC is poor, then we could see gold come higher. So there's a few different variables in the mix which could push the price of gold up and, of course, pull the price down. So we are going to sit tight and see what happens. But just to show you my setup, what I'm looking at, I am looking at gold coming lower. I'm expecting a pullback, of course, but I would still like gold to come lower. I've got an imbalance area up here, 1495. Between 1495 and 1500, 1502, there's an imbalance. So, you know, price could still come up before it looks to come back down, which we would call a buy to sell. But what I am looking for really is a larger sell to buy. So I will be looking to sell this, but of course, monitoring how Monday goes. We'll see what happens and we'll keep you guys updated. EURUSD, I mentioned this last week on call. Price has really come down. Now, pay attention to this area here. The red box is my mitigation zone. Now, this pullback I'm looking at as the mitigation area. And what I would like to see is price really turn around from this exact same area. Now, that would be one form of confluence. My second form of confluence would be that price is in a discounted zone between the 62 to 88% area. This is my kill zone, and I will be looking to execute providing I can start to see rejection on smaller timeframes. So I will, again, be updating you guys accordingly, but please make sure you are looking at this to see what happens. Ultimately, okay, EURUSD has been very bearish. If we have a look at the higher timeframes and we take everything off of the chart, we've been able to catch moves from at the top of here. I can recall very nicely, we've caught some really nice moves. But with that being said, you know, we haven't really seen any lower lows. We've seen here a higher low, here potentially providing price can turn around, we'll see another higher low. So the question really would be, you know, the bearish structure hasn't been broken. I'll be expecting to see price go higher or lower. Well, right now, because the bearish structure hasn't been broken, yet we can predict a pullback, which is the entry we'd be looking for. But ultimately, this can still potentially be bearish. So, you know, what we do want to see is the lower lows, the lower highs be taken out. And until a lower high is taken out, we can't assume that this is a bearish, that the market will continue bearish, excuse me. So for that reason, we're just going to sit back. We're going to see how Monday unfolds. And of course, we've got the interest rate for the euro on Wednesday. So we're really going to sit back and see what happens. We're going to see what happens tomorrow. And if we get if price action really shows us what we're looking at, great. All the better for us to catch the buy. But more importantly, guys, have this set up, have alerts, be ready, and stay informed. Moving on, we're looking at the Australian dollar against the American dollar, US dollar. And what we can also see, guys, is a very nice bullish structure. I will admit the buy was definitely beneath this line. Okay, and if you haven't been able to catch this buy already, then you should be waiting for the pullback. We are personally waiting for the pullback. This is not a trade that we've been able to catch prior to it being in the correct zone. So now we are waiting for the pullback. Personally, it may be too late. Price may not come back. And if that is the case, then so be it. Okay, but unless price comes beneath the 50%, anywhere near my kill zone area, I will not be looking to execute this trade. But it does look like a nice, lovely setup for a long buy, at least up into these areas of minus 112. Well, at least really to clear in. This would be my first take profit. Okay, the equal highs. And my second would be, sorry, excuse me, round about here as well. There's a lot of imbalances left above. So it's a nice trade, but we really do want to get in at a good price. We'd like to see price come lower before we look at moving forward and jumping into this trade. Moving on, AUD/CAD. AUD/CAD, another bullish pair. We mentioned this on the call last week, I believe. Adam took you through this. Again, okay, the perfect places to catch this buy was around in this area here. So unfortunately, if you've missed that, all we should be waiting for is the pullback, okay? If it comes, we execute. If it doesn't, we stay alert, we stay hungry, but most importantly, we stay patient, okay? Sometimes you may have to wait 3 to 4 days for your setup, but if you wait those 3 to 4 days and that setup comes and it's paid you considerably, that could be your next 3 or 4 to even 10 days worth of work in one trade. So it's very important to stay patient, stay hungry, and more importantly, stay ready. And I think this would be the last pair, AUDNZD. Okay, now with the AUDNZD, again, it's similar to EURUSD, right? We've seen price really reject higher prices. We've seen an equal high formed, and now price is moving lower. Now, with the institutional play being within this zone, okay, what I would be looking for right now is to see some price rejection. If I do not see any price rejection, then there would be no confidence in believing this pair could turn around. So we really want to see what happens come market open, but we do want to have the right setups to know what we're looking for. And at the moment, we're looking to see some strong price rejection on the smaller time frames. Now, I'll finish off today's session with the dollar index. Okay, now the DXY has taken a battering, and I say that because we've had quite a bearish rally downwards. We've had what looks to be hopes of reclimbing back up and potentially making a new higher high. That's been executed. Here has also been executed. So each time we've seen a potential spike that can take us back up, which would take the dollar back up to where it probably wants to be, really the bears have come back in charge and they've really executed their presence and taken the price lower. So what we're looking at now is an equal low mixed with an equal high, combined with some imbalance. I'd like to see price come up to potentially fill the imbalance, or at least 50% before price comes lower, takes out the equal low. So just to clarify, we are remaining bearish on the DXY. Of course, with the interest rate that is to be released this week, we may potentially see price come up a lot higher before price comes down. But regardless, we've got an equal high and an equal low. One of these need to be taken out first before the market moves into its direction. And for that reason, guys, we do want to make sure that we're informed, we keep our alerts, and we also keep an eye out to what's going on in our Telegram chat. If you haven't already got access, be sure to go over to litcapital.co.uk, register for free. There will be a pop-up as soon as you come onto the page. Be sure to put your details into the pop-up, okay? Provide your contact details so that we can add you into our group and you can stay informed. If you head over to our page, which says Telegram group, there's opportunities available for you to get access to what you need to. Like I said, the pop-up will come up, name and number, type that in, get informed, and more importantly, guys, secure the bag. Why? Because every day is money day. I've been your host, Cavell. Hope you guys have a good evening. Look out for our trades and be sure, guys, to stay safe.